Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting Adventures with Amy. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's about Pete's Blankets of Hope. And I've made a lot of blankets for that organization. And if I remember or can figure it out, because I can't always seem to do it, I'll put links in the description box about their program. They donate blankets to cancer centers local to me, and I'm in Minnesota. So and on their web page they have a spot where people can request a certain type of blanket, a certain color, character, if it can be made, just any certain blanket that they want. And I make a lot of blankets to donate to them. I don't record them all because sometimes I just want to get them delivered and I don't have time to record because I do work full-time, in-home childcare full-time. But I wanted to record this one because I want to do it a little bit different, and I want to show on an upper camera thing how I make a granny square and how I'm joining them together. So that'll be after I talk a little bit. So this blanket is a Minecraft themed blanket, and at first I couldn't find a pattern for it. We had just a picture that they wanted a blanket like a picture, and I will put the picture on this side over here sometime so you can see what it was. Eventually I did go to Pinterest like after I already started it, and I did find a pattern. It's just a basic granny square, but they did say what colors they used and everything for one. And I'll maybe put that. I took a screenshot of the name, I think, of the person that made it or whatever too, and I'll put that over here eventually too. That would be the second picture I put up. So I said that I would do it. I love making granny squares, and they're all each one is one color. You don't switch colors in the granny square, so you only have two ends to weave in, you know, the one for the middle and then the one at the end. So there's only two to sew in for each one, so that's not so bad. So I just wanted to share the colors that I'm using for this blanket, and then I will show you the blanket. Now of course I did forget to grab my other, oh, they're right here. Okay. I bring this upstairs and I work on it during the day when the kids are playing really good. Kind of gives me something to do. I agree, I do play with them, but I like them to learn independence and play on their own too. So if I'm doing something else, they can be playing, and we're all doing something that we enjoy doing. Okay, so a Minecraft blanket takes a lot of different shades of green, and I did realize when I looked at this other lady's pattern that I think you're supposed to use like a gray in there too. Well, I did not, because I didn't realize that. And the spots that were kind of supposed to be the gray color, I did use Big Twist Value, and this is slime color. I used all acrylic yarn. For Pete's Blankets of Hope, you can use other types of yarn too, because they always suggest to the people that get them, you know, that they should wash them in cold water and special instructions on how to wash them. But I try to stay with acrylic, or if I end up with like a wool, it's got to be a acrylic wool blend where acrylic is the main part of the blanket, kind of like a Karen cake has. I know the first ones they made had 20% wool, and then the rest was acrylic. So yeah, I used the Big Twist Value in slime. I have a tote down here I'm going to put the colors in. I numbered them all, and I'll show you later on. I have a graph. So this was number 6. I'm just going to go all over the board with the numbers because they're all laying right here. They're not in numerical order how they're laying here. I know the slime was number 5, and this was number 6, and this is a Karen 1-pounder, and this is called Grass Green. I've used them all, so they're a hot mess. Put it put my tote down here. And then I used some Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo. And this is Patty Green. And that was number 2. Number 3 is Hirschner's Worsted Yarn. I had never worked with this before, and it's really turning out nice. I'm sorry if you heard that noise. It's our air conditioning upstairs. I wasn't going to sit and wait for it to shut off because it could start again before I'm done. And the name of this color is Island Green. It's all worsted weight, size 4 yarn. So Island Green. And then number 7 is also, the rest of them are all the Hirschner's Worsted Yarn. And this is Dark Moss. Hirschner's Worsted. Dark Moss. It turned out this yarn is really soft, worked up and stuff. Well, even using it, it's really a nice yarn. I'm going to have to get it more often. And then the number 1 color is another shade of green, and this is Army Green. And then there's one more, and this would be number 4, I think. I didn't write it on here. Number 4, I remember number 4. This is Leaf Green, Leaf. And this was the Hirschner's Worsted Yarn. All right, so I'm going to show you the blanket. I have to move back, and I'm going to show, sorry, I'm looking at something over here. I'm going to show you the blanket, and then I'll get it reset up for how I want to do the next part. Move back. Now I don't have, I'm going to be out of screen here, but the blanket's not done yet. So there's going to be a section of it that's not finished, which is right here. This is a top. It's not finished yet because I want to show you on part of that, and I just didn't have time to finish it because I do work. That's the back. This is the front. Yeah. Okay. So here it is. Whoop. Sideways. Here's the top. There's 2 big black, and then I used black as well because the black is for the face, the eyes, and the face part. And I think, I don't remember what the character is. I'll let you know when I do the next part. But you just do a lot of different granny squares in the different colors. You can see them all pretty much right in there. And then the face, the black eyes. Ugh, it's a big blanket. They wanted it, you know, an adult size blanket. And you can kind of see it. When I get it done, my husband will hold it up for me, and then I'll take a picture of it, and that will get that'll get added at the end of this video. We'll put the picture of the whole blanket. Yeah, so this blanket is going to a 19-year-old guy, and he's a gamer. He likes to do a lot of video games, is what I understand. And they had requested a Minecraft themed blanket. We gave them a couple choices, and this is the one that they picked out. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I am going to reset up and see if I can record a different way of how I make my squares for it. So I'll talk to you again in just a few minutes. Okay, here we are. We're going to give this a try. I haven't done a video like this before where I've done it, well, I did that one time when I did steaming, but I haven't like crocheted under the camera before. So we're going to give this a try. Trying to move something over here. So this is my graph that I made myself. It's wider than what the blanket is going to be because it's not like to scale. But what I did was, it's got 7 different colors. You can see them down here. There's 7 different colors. And then you've got the black. 7 different greens, and then you have black. Now I just picked different colors in the Excel spreadsheet program on my computer. So I didn't have any, you know, I just chose different colors. And then I numbered them all on here on the top. I've been marking them off with a pen as I go along. I've got all of them done except this corner right up here. And this corner we're going to work on. I've already made 7, 2, and 5, and we're going to make number 3 and join it to these two is what we're going to do in the rest of this video here. But the rest of it was already done. So yeah, I don't know that there's more I got to talk. I think of all these things during the day, and then I get to this part and I don't remember what I was going to say. So I am using a 6.0 hook. That's a J, size J. This one just has, this is a dots hook from like Lovecrafts, or I don't remember. But this is a dots hook. And then each granny square has 5 granny square rounds. And I did that. I measured how, I made one, and then I measured how big it was. My goal was to get it a certain, I think 6 inches, 6 by 6. So with a J hook, that worked out for me. So color number 3 is, and remember I used the worsted, Hirschner's worsted yarn, and color number 3 is Island Green. It says it right on here, Island Green. So that's what I'm gonna use. The only thing I did notice about the Hirschner's yarn as it was kind of staticky, like it wanted to cling to me. Now in the blanket, this will go like this. I haven't sewn in any ends, so the ends, only this color, but the other ends are still there. This one will be this corner at the top corner of the blanket, but seeing as I'm going to be joining it as I go, I need to turn it around this way because I'll be joining it from this corner here and then down to this corner. So it needs to be turned. Then when I get done with this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I just have a few more to do around it, and as I do them, I'll join it to the blanket at the same time. So I'm going to try to do this. I've never really crocheted and shown people how I crochet. So I started, and there's different ways to do granny squares. This is just what I do, how I make mine. So I like to do a double magic ring. So I wrap it around my 2 fingers 2 times, and then I keep the working yarn up to the side there, and then you just go in here and then you just pull the working yarn through your circle. And this is how I've never done this, so I'm just going to grab it, and hopefully anybody watching this already knows how to do crocheting. Oop, I gotta get my hands up here. So then I do the stacked single. When I make a double crochet, I stack 2 single crochets, one on top of each other, and that's my first double crochet for that row, for that cluster, because a granny square has 3 double crochet clusters. So here's the second one, and whoop, you're just working in your circle here, and here's the third one. And then a chain 2 is what I do in my corners, and then another 3 double crochet cluster. Whoop. Chain 2. You always mess up a little bit when you're trying to record yourself doing it, because it's just, you know, I can watch TV and do it and not have to look at it, but if I'm recording and doing it, I guess I have to kind of pay attention. Chain 2, and this is our last chain, our last 3 double crochet cluster. Of course the yarn wants, there, I need to pull a little bit more yarn out, and here's the third 1, 2, there's 2, here's the third double crochet in that cluster. Then to close a double round, double wrapped magic ring, you pull on your short string here, just pull it a little bit and see which string, which one of these yarns is pulling in, and you see that it's not this one, it's this one. So the end where your string is coming out, you'll grab the yarn from that side and then hold on this side and just pull it, and that's going to close up. See how it closes up your ring, your circle. Then you have this loop here. Then you just grab your shorter yarn here, strand, and there, that closes it up. And I like mine to have, when I'm doing something like this, I like to have just a little bit of an opening there. You can pull it tighter if you want, you know, it not to be as much. Then I like to end it with a half double crochet into the top of our chain, our stacked single crochet. So we're going to put it through the 2 loops here, and we're going to pull it through and do the half double crochet. And then I chain 1, and then I turn my work. Then I'm going to do another stacked, another stacked single crochet for the first double crochet. And then go back into your clusters. So it takes 2 for this one, 2 double crochets, because that stacked, 2 stacked singles counts as your first one, and then you've got 2 more for your 3 doubles. And then there, I don't do a chain in between my clusters and my granny squares. So just on the corners you do the chain 2. So here's 1, 2, 3, then chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Then remember, no chain in there. So you're going to go right into the next corner and make another corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and that's your corner again. Whoop. Then we've got another corner to make. Got to make all 4 corners. Then chain 2 and your 3 double crochets. Then we're just going to keep this. Eventually this will be the back side, so this end can just stay right there. So then we just need to make 3 more double crochets here to finish off that corner. Then we're going to do our half double crochet join, chain 1, and then we're turning our work again. And then we're going to start right here and make our stacked singles for the first double crochet. I'm just going to show you a little bit more, and then I'm going to pause it and I'm going to finish it, and then I'll just show you at the end, because you don't need to watch me just sit here and do the whole thing. Whoops. We all mess up. There we go. So that's the stacked single, then 2 doubles, and then you're going to make a cluster in between these other 2 clusters from the previous row. So you're going to make your 3 doubles. Remember, we're not chaining. I don't chain in between my clusters. So then we're going to go right into here and make another corner of 3 doubles. And then a chain 2 and 3 doubles. Maybe. And 3 doubles. Okay, and I'm going to finish doing this until I'm up to the 5th round, and then we'll do, then I'll come back on and talk about the 5th round. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so here we have our 4 rounds, and then I did the 5th round on 2 sides of this one, because we're going to join it on 2 sides are going to join to the 2 sides of here. So here's 1 and 2 sides that are finished for the 5th row on this one. So we're going to start by chaining 1, And then we're going to join in the corner of this granny square of this other one I made. So you're just going to go through from the top to the bottom and just pull up a loop and then just pull it through, just basically slip stitching it through. Then I like to chain one just to kind of make the corner. Now we're going to do a double crochet, and then these double crochets, the way we're going to join it together is we're going to join it in, pick up my needle here, we're going to join it in the top loops, the top of the stitch, the other double crochets in this green one. So in the top one of each one we're going to join. So we're just going to go from the top to the bottom, kind of like we did in the corner, and we're just going to loop your yarn and just pull it through and slip stitch it through. Then you're going to do another double crochet, then find your next stitch, go down, pull a loop up and pull it through. And that's what you're going to do across these two rows. Well, I guess it is 2 rounds on here. 1 round, 2 sides. And now we did 3 in here, the corner, and then 3. So now we're going to go into the next area where we do the next 3 double crochet clusters. So we're going to join them here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Then go to the next one and you just keep going, keep doing the same thing. Sometimes I like to count them in my head so I know I'm getting each one. Here's number 2 and number 3. Now I did the mistake that a lot of people, some people end up doing. I already joined it together and realized that I didn't push record. So I already did this step once and cut my yarn off and tied it off and everything. So then I had to pick out the knot, and I jibber jabbered the whole time. Talked to you guys the whole time when I did it. Do I really remember what I said? Not really. Not really. So we're just going to keep going. Now we're at the corner, so we're going to join it into this corner right here. We're going to do it the same way to start with here. So you're going to go in the first one, then make your next double crochet and go into the next one and your last double crochet. And this is a knot from the previous one, so you just kind of find a spot there. And I like to go on the other side of the knot, because then I can kind of pull the knot down. Okay, and then pull it through to join it. Then you need to join it in the corner of that one. So you just do the same thing, slip it into the corner, and then slip it into this corner of this next one that we're joining it to. We don't slip it into that one. I don't. And then I slip it into this one. Then I chain one. And then we're just going to join it across the end of this one. And we're going to join it the same way. Do our double crochet. Gotta reorganize my finger here sometimes. Whoop, we don't want that dark green. There, we're going to do our double crochets and join it the same way. You know, sometimes your yarn is just too long here and your fingers feel like they're not working right. Well, that's what's happening. Seeing as it's my second time doing it. So 1, 2, third one. This has been a really fun way to join these granny squares. You don't have to sew them together after. You know, connect them as you go. So when you get done, you don't have a million granny squares to connect. You still only have the two ends to sew in, the one from the middle and then the one at the end here. So I don't know, I've been really enjoying this. And I do this sometimes with my Warm Up America blankets too. I join them the same way. With this blanket, it's easier because I have the same amount of stitches on each side, where some of the Warm Up America sections, you know, they're not made by the same person or the same pattern. So you just got to kind of wing it and do the best you can. Here we go. We got 6 left to do. So there's 1. Whoop. I hope I don't run out of yarn because I did cut it off and tie it, but I shouldn't. I'm doing the same thing. Silly Amy. Number 2. And the third, number 3. And here's the end, so we just have to make 3 more in that one there, in that spot there. So here's 1. 2. And the last double crochet. And put it in the last one to join. Now we still have to join it to this corner here. So we can do the same slip stitch join as we've been doing. Then I like to chain 1 because now we're just going to join it here to end. So the top of our stacked single crochets, I just slip it through. And then I like to do 2 chains to end mine. And then, woohoo, I had plenty of yarn. Pull it through, and then I just tighten this up. So there, whoop. That's the pattern that it makes. I really like this pattern on here that it makes when you're joining it this way. So yeah, that's about it for this. It's kind of like a tutorial, but not really. I'm not going to say I'm going to do tutorials. So, but eventually I'm going to maybe do some tatting this way too and show you guys how I do my tatting. And I think that would be kind of neat too. So, well, I'm going to say goodbye for now. The end of this video. We will, when I get it done, it'll be a few days. I get it done, and then my husband will hold it up for me and I'll take a picture of the blanket, and then I'll put the blanket on this video before I put it out there. So, as I always say, enjoy your craft, whatever craft it is. See you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.